What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Regrowth. Oh yeah, guys, so I've been playing a little bit off camera here. Yeah, I've been getting some stuff done. I actually had to set back up the smelter. You can't really see it, but it's inside the building over there. Yeah, we need cobalt and ardite. There's no way to get cobalt and ardite, the actual ingots, without using the smeltery or the Mariculture thing, which takes literally forever to heat up. So I elected to do the smeltery since it's way faster, it's easier. We already had the parts together. You don't have to wait like 30 minutes or whatever for it to heat up to the proper temperature. Yeah, it just makes sense. So anyway, we had to get the cobalt and the ardite so we could roll out the plates and we can make the speed upgrades and the efficiency upgrades and all sorts of things like that for our crusher down below. So I'm still working on our power system over here. And I think we got some good stuff going on. So I did lay out all 5 of these biogenerators. I started upgrading our pipes. We're using advanced universal cables instead of the basic ones. The basic ones only do like 1.2K RF, I think, and we're now making, with all 5 of these, I think 1.4K is what it was. Anyway, I don't remember the exact numbers. I just remember we're making more than those cables can handle. So, I upgraded the cables, and then I put in these advanced logistical transporters. I upgraded these. These look like they can do 16 items at a time instead of just the normal 1 at a time from the basic one, so that's definitely an upgrade. I did put in our ultimate energy cube here since this is like our main power. It's gonna be anyway. We're gonna start switching off of what we've been doing to this. I think this is like really good. And yeah, we got our crusher here with the upgrades in it. We have 8 of each of these. That was kind of a pain having to make all of the air and the water runes from Britannia to make those upgrades, but it's a thing you gotta do in this mod pack. So yeah, we got that all hooked up. So we have an export bus here that is exporting biofuel. It has a crafting card and then 3 acceleration cards. So we always have 27 stacks of biofuel on hand. As we use power, yeah, the biofuel gets consumed here. It gets pulled out by the logistical transporters back into the biogenerator. The export bus sees that there's room in here and crafts more, and then it kicks this thing off, and or I guess the crusher off. Yeah, and then things happen, so that's kind of cool. I guess we could get rid of the export bus here. I guess we could just have an export bus on the crusher putting in pumpkin seeds, right? That way we don't need the interface, we don't need the import bus, and we wouldn't need this particular export bus. We'd have one export bus just doing pumpkin seeds into the crusher, so we always have a stack of biofuel. We could just have pipes piping into here. But anyway, this is the way I decided to go about it. So we have a P2P RF tunnel here. So our power comes into the battery and the battery is sending the power this way. So this P2P tunnel, this is where we're going to feed the power to the rest of the farms and things over here, which means we can finally get rid of our steam engine and our noisy commercial steam engines, or I guess these are industrial ones. These are doing 80 RF per tick. Yeah, we're going to get rid of those things. Cool. All right. So first step we needed to do, I just put the P2P here. I just got done making like 10 more of these things. We have so many of the engineering processors, or at least the diamond part of it completed now. So we can take one of these P2Ps. We can just go ahead and stick it right. Well, how do we want to do this actually? We're trying to power both the farm and our pump here. So we might want to put this directly on the cable. I was gonna say we could just put this right on the farm gearbox or whatever, but I think we do want to power both of these things, and because we want the pump powered, right? Okay, so let's do that. We need a, oh, I don't have the power cables on me. I need a power cable. Can I steal a power cable from somewhere? How about this one right here? Okay, so I have a power cable now. All I have to do is right click this MEP2P, and then it turns into an RF one, which now connects to our power system, right? And then all I have to do with that is connect that up to the cabling, like so. I think that's it. All right, and so now we need to do the memory cards. We just shift right click on this one, and right click on this one. It says device missing channel. It takes like 10 to 15 seconds, sometimes longer. I don't know why there's like such a delay. It takes a little bit of time, and it'll be like, oh, I have my channel again. And then it'll start drawing power. There it is, device online. So at this point, we should be able to turn these guys off. And everything should still work. I'm looking at the MB water thing over here. It looks like things are still happening. Yeah, I think we can just go ahead, get rid of all of this stuff. We don't need steam in these things. These are slowly losing steam over time. These things should be doing work every now and then. Sounds are being made. Is that the biogenerator that's doing something? I don't know what's going on. But anyway, yeah, as the farm uses power, these things should kick on. All of our power is going to be coming from here now. The one thing I don't like is that there's lighting updates, which is going to cause a little bit of lag depending on how often that flashes on and off. Maybe I'll want to put like torches around here. That'll solve that problem. I don't know if that's a big deal or not, but I know things like redstone or whatever that emit a small amount of light, like if you have those like flashing a lot, yeah, that can cause a little bit of lag problems. Like you see the lights up there and stuff. I don't know if this is a big deal or not, so we might just kind of ignore this for now. But anyway, now that we have the P2P here, we should be able to do the same thing over on this farm. We have this P2P that is coming from, I think, our main base over there. We can just switch this one over to the same one. So that should be getting its power now from over here. So both of these farms are running off that same set of biogenerators, which is pretty awesome, or I guess our battery that we have over there. Let's just wait for this thing to say that it has the, yeah, it's online. All right, I think we're good. I think we're all good. So what we can do at this point now, get rid of our chest that's full of coal, get rid of our high pressure boiler. We can clean all of this up. Yeah, and I think we're gonna be pretty good. So let me go ahead and do a little bit of cleanup here and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so I was just playing around with this and I decided, you know, let's just get rid of all the fluid cables. So yeah, everything is now going through P2P. So we have a P2P tunnel fluid right on our pump. So all the water this thing is making is going through here, which is being distributed to our P2P tunnel fluid here. And also the one that we have over here. Previously, we had a sub network that was kind of running underneath the floor, came up here, and we had like these quartz fiber cables or whatever, and the red ME cable giving that sub network power. Yeah, I got rid of that. That's all on the main network now. I still got to get rid of this little quartz fiber guy, but I don't have a wrench on me at the moment. But yeah, so now all of our power is going through a P2P, is being distributed to both farms, and same thing for the fluid, the water. I guess the power is also being distributed to this pump down here too. We have a P2P RF on the side to give it some power. Yep. So this guy right here is then providing the water to both the farms as well. So that is pretty awesome. I'm happy with the way this thing has turned out. So I think we're going to go ahead and move on from this. We have a few things we still need to take care of. Like we got to get garden soil going, right? So that's going to be some kind of an automation we're going to have to hook up here pretty soon. We're going to need garden soil so we can make more of these farms going. Yeah, then we'll have to automate them and all of that stuff. But for right now, we can only really have the one farm. And yeah, we're just making, you know, our 4 main products to keep everything automated over here. The earth, the fire, the pumpkin, and the creeper. Yep, and then we have the gold here because we ran low on gold. But anyway, we're going to leave this alone for now. Last episode, we were working on another quest. Let's open this one up. Yeah, more power. So we made the pressurized reaction chamber, or was that the episode before? I can't remember. Anyway, we did that just recently, and then we made the gas burning generator. Both of those things are completed. We never did claim the reward for that, and that's going to give us a basic gas tank that's over full, and then a stack of biofuel. Let's go ahead and claim it. So this tank, yeah, the bar is a little off here. Oh, it has ethylene in it. Oh, well, we're going to lose a little bit because we have to set this thing down. It fixes itself, so we lost, you know, however much extra was there. But anyway, we have 64 buckets. Can you have a bucket of gas? 64 buckets of the ethylene fuel, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so we have that. Trying to think if there's anything else we wanted to do while we are still over here. I don't think so. One thing that I did want to do, I want to check on our bees over here because I've been doing some work and these things have been automated. They've been making combs. We need to still get those combs processed so we can get that silky wisp so we can make the apiarist gear pretty much is what we're trying to do. How are we doing on this? We got 58 combs. Trying to stay away from these things so I don't get poisoned. Okay, so we got frames in there. They're almost broken. Almost broken, and those are broken. Okay, so we're gonna have to worry about getting frames in there here pretty soon. We can just go and throw this in our centrifuge like we do. And we got 12 more silky propolis. I'll just put those in the hopper, ready to be sent back through again. Yeah, so we're still waiting on this. It's a slow process. It is a very slow process. And we could expand it out by getting more hives with more of those bees that could copy them. But, you know, they'll just go in the background while we're doing other things. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, what do we want to work on today? I was kind of going through these quests a little bit, trying to figure that out. This one seems to be mostly done. We don't have whatever is left, the final quest, I guess, unlocked. Encoding of the world, yeah, we're still working on this particular one, trying to get the apiarist gear from those bees. We could start working on a little bit of the mariculture stuff. We haven't touched this in quite some time. All right, so it looks like this is going to be, I guess, for fish breeding or something. I guess we already did these first two, but we didn't do this other one. Okay, so let's read this. It says feeding time. Once you have yourself some live fish, you'll want to build a tank to keep them in. Different fish species require different sized tanks to live in. The core of any tank is the fish feeder, which deploys fish food to sustain the fish, and is also the point where you can interact with the otherwise freeform tank structure. Okay, I don't think I've ever built one of these mariculture tanks before. So this section says a tank is measured as the number of blocks of water surrounding the tank. When you place your fish in the tank through the interface of the feeder, it may give you an error message. If the tank is too small, it will tell you how many more blocks of water needed, or how many more blocks of water need to be nearby for that fish species. The tank size also determines the amount of fish food that can be stored in the feeder at once. To provide the fish food, you can either drop the fish and be in the water around the feeder, or you can pump the liquid fish food. Pump in liquid fish food. Okay, so there's got to be a way that we can liquefy this stuff. I guess either way is going to work. We've already made a fish feeder, apparently, and we've already made fish meal, but there is a second crafting task here for the cooling upgrade. This section says you may also find you need cooling upgrades to make the temperature of the tank habitable for the fish. To get the needed snow, you can use the snow bell plant, which you may need to do mutations to get. No, if we need snow, we'll just use our snowman over here that apparently died. What? Where did he go? What? Did he fall down to the water? Is he floating down here? No, just gone. Just gone. Alright, well. Somehow our snowman died. I'm not sure what happened. He was there the last time I was playing. He's not here now. I don't think anything attacked snowman, right? Unless somehow like a baby zombie spawned or something and it threw a snowball at it, and then, I don't know, maybe that's something that happened. I don't think so. Anyway, we do have snowballs, right? So we can make ourselves another snowman. And we only have 11,000 pumpkins, so we gotta be very careful with our usage of these things. We don't want to run out. Alright, so we'll just come up here real quick. Snowball, or I guess snow block. Pumpkin, boom. There's our snowman who makes snow, and as we've seen before, we can get unlimited snow just by doing this. Cool. Alright, so we got plenty of snow to make the tanks cooler should we need to. Alright, so we got that under control. Put those away for now. In fact, I should clean out my inventory. I got so much of this other stuff we were using on me. Put the gas tank away as well. Okay, so this did want us to make a certain thing, a basic cooling upgrade. And to make that, we need cooling components. That's something I've never made before. Okay, so that is just some planks and iron. That's not so bad. Snow and then snowballs. Perfect. All right, so we can do that. So the basic cooling upgrade. We'll make 2 of those guys, and there we go. Easy, easy. Okay, so we got that done. That's going to give us 8 bottles of fish food. I guess I should figure out how we can do the liquid fish food. And plus 2 geneticists. All right, cool. So the recipe for these, I'm just curious. So we can make the liquid fish food. I'm not sure if it's going to show me how to do this. It says that it's a fluid and it's in the registry and we can bottle it, but it's not showing me how that happens. Oh, we melt ant bait. Ah, okay, in the crucible furnace. I see. And we can melt bread. That gives us 8 pieces of fish food. Okay, that might be what we do then. I mean, bread is something that we can grow, right? Fish meal, that gives us 12. What's the recipe for fish meal? Okay, so that comes from fish. So maybe if we have like an automatic way to make fish, we can just pump them in. Thing had a weird looking face on it. We can just pump them in to like the crucible or whatever and get it that way. So that might be a thing we do. Bread would also be pretty easy since we have automated farms over there. All we gotta do is just place wheat seeds down and we'll have all of the wheat that we can turn into bread. Yeah, so that's the smelter. You set back up. This is our thing that I've been making all of our processors with. Actually, let's do... Yeah, we got 130 of these diamond ones. I went a little crazy with those. And then we got over a stack of the gold ones. And then as far as the tube, we have, I guess, almost 100 of the diamond ones and about 170 of the golden electrons. Yeah, I kind of went a little overboard on them. I kind of got tired of running out and running low on these things. Okay, so I don't think there's anything that we need to do. Is there a quest that actually tells us to set up the fish tank? Hatching a plan? Fish eggs. Okay, well, let's just go through this quest real quick, and we'll probably check out the Mariculture, the feeder, and all of that for making fish in a tank. So this is hatching a plan. Once your fish are happy in their tank, they will eventually die off, leaving behind some eggs. Minnows are a good starting point for fish breeding, being able to survive in this environment with 3 basic cooling upgrades installed. Okay. Fish eggs. So we have to make a tank. We have to let fish die off, and then we'll get fish eggs. I assume this is similar to like bees, where like you have, you know, your princess with your drone. They make the queen, right? And then the queen dies off, and you get drones and a princess back. So I assume the fish eggs are just that same kind of a thing. So we have to make ourselves a tank. Okay, so the first thing they want us to do is a fish feeder, and then we have to have like water blocks around it. Yeah, so we have this fish feeder. We do have some fish food or fish meal. We do have fish oil. That's not really what we want. So let me figure out how to get this thing set up. I don't know if we have the fish to actually breed in there. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research. I guess go through the Mariculture books real quick and figure out what I'm doing. I've never done this before. Yeah, let me figure that out and we'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so one of the first problems we're gonna have to solve is we're gonna need fish. Yeah. We've done a little bit of manual fishing with the Mariculture fishing rods and the fishing bait a while ago. We got enough for what we needed to do at that time, and we haven't done anything since. So what we need to do is collect a whole lot of fish. We're gonna need a male and a female minnow, for instance, to put into the fish feeder. They'll live out their life, kind of like you put bees in the apiary, right? They'll die off and we'll get our fish eggs and we'll be able to complete the quest. But before we can do that, we need a male and female minnow. So what we need to do is get some bait, and then we're going to make an automatic fisher because I'm not going to do this all by hand. So an automatic fisher, let's make this real quick. The automatic fisher. In fact, we might set up multiple of these. So we need a couple of wooden fishing rods. We need some planks. We need a type of a raw fish, and then some of these logs. I don't think, yeah, we never made an automatic fisher before. I was just double checking that I wasn't going to make one. I've forgotten because it's been so long since we touched Mariculture. So we need polished sticks, and we get polished sticks from polished planks, and polished planks come from a polished log, and polished log comes from a vat with fish oil. Okay, so we don't have any polished. We do have fish oil though. We were given this a while ago. So let's go back real quick. Go back up the line here. So we need 30 buckets of fish oil for 1 log. 30 buckets of fish oil. Okay, so I guess the quest starts before this. We need to figure out how we're going to get fishing oil. So fish oil comes from raw cod, raw salmon. So we get a decent amount per fish. I guess, do we have any raw fish? We have goldfish, catfish, undead fish, butterfly fish. All right, I guess we're going to start taking these raw fish that we have. I don't know if that one matters or not. We're going to have to start taking those guys and then putting them through, what was it? The crucible furnace. Okay, so this has a low temperature here. I don't think we have the crucible furnace set up anymore. So let's grab this. I think we had a tank full of lava that would sit underneath it. Okay, so we'll do that. We're gonna need a vat. All right, so we'll just set this thing up outside, I guess. There's not a lot of room in here. It should be fine. We'll just set this up like right here. We'll break that out, put the lava right here, and then we'll, not there. Put the lava right here. We'll put the crucible furnace on top. We gotta turn this. Okay, so it's automatically turning on actually. So this thing should be heating up a little bit. Oh, it's starting off at 4C. So that means it's like super freezing out here. That's kind of weird. Should be starting off at like 20C or something, right? Anyway, so this is heating up. It's gonna take a minute. We have to get to 180, so we can just put the vat right here. We need to tell this thing to auto eject fluids, right? And then we can put like our fish in here, I guess. Once it gets to 180C, it'll start melting these down and making some of the fish fluid, fish oil. We can take this stuff. I guess we can just grab one of our basic, I can't remember the pipe name for fluids. Mechanical pipe, that looks like it, and we're gonna need a configurator. One of these guys. Like so, we can do that and shift right click that a couple times. So all 16 of this is gonna go into here. Oh, you know what? Okay, so here's a problem. This vat only holds 6 buckets, right? And we needed how many in? It was like 30 something. So I think what we're gonna have to do is do the multi-block vat. Yeah, I think we're gonna need more vats. How do we make a vat? I can't remember. Okay, so that's just copper. Let's undo what we just did here. We'll pull that stuff back out. All right, so let's make 3 more vats, and I believe that makes a multi-block. Let's try that real quick. All right, so there is 3 vats. I remember doing this a long time ago in a different mod pack. There we go. Okay, so now we can hold maximum capacity of 30 buckets. All right, so now we should be able to do this once again. Yeah, now we'll have the capacity for all the fluid in there. And then when this thing heats up, we'll get even more. Hopefully we'll have enough. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of manual fishing or whatever. But anyway, we're about halfway there, a little over halfway where we need to be on the temperature. Let's wait for that to happen, and we'll be right back, guys. Well, of course, we didn't have enough fish to melt into fish oil for what we're trying to do. So I'm having to fish a little bit by hand, which is fine. We still had plenty of this, the bait worm bait. Give me that. It's kind of weird how the fish like slowly fly up towards me when I do that. I guess that's part of the Botania magnet ring or whatever. I am getting experience. So what have we caught so far? A nightfish, a stingray, blue tang, whatever that is. I guess these things don't tell you how much oil they produce unless you're on this inventory screen. So let's see. We have 21 buckets worth in here. So if we look at these, okay, get rid of that. Oh, that's a good one. Almost 2 buckets from this stingray. Okay, so we got that, and then these guys are like nothing. The puffer. Oh, the puffer are really good. Puffer are really good. Let's get that out of here. Let's just melt both puffers. Yeah, that's like 9 buckets for both of those. That's really, really awesome. Melting point 180C. 10% chance for bone. Oh, and they're not doing anything because we had rotten flesh right here. Oh, that's why it wasn't cooking. It was like, what's going on? All right, so yeah, that should do what we need to do. That should fill it up so we can put 1 log in there. Log, I guess wood. And then it takes 45 seconds for that wood to turn into the polished one, I think is what it said. How are we doing here? That's almost done. Oh, bone. So it says 4250, and didn't we do just 2 of those at once? Did we lose some? No, I think it's all going in there, just slowly draining out. Okay, so I put a log in there. Yeah, sometimes this fluid takes forever to drain out of here and into the vat. I've noticed before. I don't know why, like, it'll do like a lot of it and then does a little bit and then a little bit, and then like takes forever for it to fully drain out. Not sure why that is. I might want to get one of these logistical transporters and just pull directly out of there, and I think that'll be faster. We just need 7 more millibuckets, and then we should be able to start getting our log polished, which sounds kind of bad. Anyway, let's put in a stingray, put in one of those. Actually, let's put in 2 of those. We'll just start like doing all this stuff up. I really want to get this automatic fisher going so I can just kind of like work on other things like we're doing for the bees. We have those set up to do its stuff, and we're just working on other things, not really camping it. All right, so we just need 2 more millibuckets, and then we gotta wait 45 seconds, I think is what it said. I just want to see it I just want to see it making some kind of a particle effect so I know it's working. There we go, awesome. All right, well, let's wait for that log to be polished. We'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so that log finished up. Here we go. So we have a polished logs, even though it's just 1. So we can put this right here and make some polished planks. And we put that here, and there we go. There is 8 polished sticks. So now we should be able to take that and make ourselves 2 of the wooden fishing rods that we need. And then we need some string. Perfect. Cool. All right, so now we have 2 of these wooden fishing rods. So to make this automatic fisher, it's just planks, wood, and some kind of a raw fish. So can we do this? I guess we need more planks. Why did that not click in there? Did I mess that up? What is this? Oh, a wooden construction block. Oh. Easy. Done. All right. Oh, and you can also just use raw squid for that. I wonder if that raw squid, I didn't even look. I wonder if this stuff has a fish oil thing on it too. Doesn't appear so. No, I think you can just use that for some recipes. All right, so we got the automatic fisher. So the next thing is we need to get this thing. It needs to be placed 1 block above the water. We need to provide it some RF power, some bait. Actually, let's just set it down. Let's take a look at it real quick. So it has an inventory. Oh, we need to provide a fishing rod. That's easy. We need to provide some bait. Auto eject items. So we'll probably put a chest above it. All right, let me go ahead and get this thing hooked up and we'll check it out. All right, guys, so we got the automatic fisher just above the water. We've got a P2P RF tunnel on it. Yep, so we are drawing power from over at our other power, our bio engines or whatever. So this is now full of power. I just put in our wooden fishing rod we were using before, and we can use bait worms with that. So we'll stick that right there. I assume this block will work unless given a signal. Okay, so it should be working. Oh my goodness, that goes really slow. Is there like upgrades for this? Is that what these are? Is there like upgrades? Can we? That's gonna go that slow. That's gonna be really ridiculous. We're probably gonna want like 100 of these things. Mariculture. We want to look for things that look like speed upgrades in this. I don't know if there is or is not. I wonder if those other things are like the cooling upgrades or whatever. Okay, so these look like upgrades. Basically, heating, cooling, purity, impurity, storage, ultimate storage. I'm not seeing anything here that looks like hyperkinetic upgrade. I'm not sure. There's gotta be, you would think there's gonna be something in here, right? That make that go a little bit faster. And it might be these hyperkinetic upgrades. I'm gonna have to go and look and figure that out because I don't know. Otherwise, if there is no upgrade for that, like if that is just the speed, we're gonna want many of those, which means we're gonna need a lot of fish oil to make more of those polished logs, to make more of the wooden fishing rods, to make more of those automatic fishers. Really hope that there is a faster way to do that, so we'll have to check that out. You know, I did click something into the enemy system earlier and I couldn't figure out what it was, and now that I'm hungry, I don't have food on me, is my golden carrots. There it is. Okay, let's eat. Let's not die. I really want to see that thing do 1 fish, but it might just take so long that we're not going to be able to see it before we have to end today's episode. Did you do something over here, little buddy? Oh, you're almost there. It is almost there. All right, so it just completed, and we got ourselves a neon tetra. So that is a male neon tetra. So this is not one that we can turn into fish oil, but that is one that we can breed with another fish. So it does use 1 bait, so I'm gonna have to make more bait and get this thing all stocked up, and then we're just gonna be like, either we're gonna have to AFK or I'll put the game on a local server or something, just have it running in the background all the time, or I don't know what we're gonna do, but that is going really slow. I might just have to look at making more of the automatic fishers and just get a whole load of these things all going at the same time. Well, either way, we'll figure it out. We got to do something here if we're going to make progress through Mariculture. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys had a great day. Yeah. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything else I should know about Mariculture, something that'll speed this up, if there's upgrades or any of that stuff. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.